Nicky, take a look at that.
I'm not doing that title gag again. Well, happy Easter, everyone. Welcome to the Nostalgia Mall. My name is Billy Core. And this year's Easter special is going to be just like last year's in a way, because we're going to be looking at another Gateway 2000 computer from the mid-90s. And this year we're going to be looking at a Gateway 2000 that I have been wanting for about 22 years now. That's right, folks. I've told this story so many times on this channel, but you know what? One more time ain't gonna hurt. In 1995, summer of 1995, my aunt invited me to her house to look at her recent computer acquisition. This was her first computer she ever owned. And I was at the time a little bit skeptical. I was 5 years old at the time. I had never heard of what a computer was. I thought that a computer was this this killer robot from outer space that ate little boys or something like that. Anyway, I was afraid of computers because I thought it would kill me. Oh, I was a weirdo one night. But anyway, I finally gave in and went to her house, and I was introduced to a Gateway 2000 much like this one right here. It was a Gateway 2000 P5-100 XL, and it was manufactured May 12th of 1995. It featured a 100 megahertz Pentium processor, socket 5. It was spec'd with, I believe, 16 megabytes of RAM, a 1.2 gigabyte Western Digital Caviar hard drive, a 17-inch Vividtron CRT monitor, the Gateway 2000 AnyKey keyboard, and a ATI Mach 64 2 megabyte video card. And it was running Windows for Workgroups 3.11 and, of course, MS-DOS 6.22. And I went there one Wednesday night and saw it, and it was love at first sight. The whole idea of being able to do all this in your very home was just phenomenal. She introduced me to a game called Mixed Up Mother Goose Deluxe from Sierra, which was the first computer game I ever played. And it just, the love for that computer grew and grew. She introduced me to many games on that computer that I love to this day, along with Mixed Up Mother Goose, Freddy Fish and the Case of the Missing Kelp Seeds, among many others. And then eventually that same year I became the owner of my first computer, our family's first computer, the Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT. But even then, I still had love for the Gateway 2000 that my aunt had, and I wanted to have one just like hers. And I tried for so long to get one, but of course in the mid-90s these were still new and very, very expensive, so yeah, that wasn't going to happen anytime soon. So it kind of stayed in the back of my head that I wanted one of these. And then finally I owned a few other Gateway 2000s, of course, throughout recent years. Had a couple of 486s, all that I got at thrift stores and online. Had a couple of 486s, the Gateway 2000 P5-95 desktop that I got back in 2014. I have a few videos of that online, which unfortunately I don't have the computer anymore. And I even had a Gateway 2000 P5-133 XL, which I still have, but I'm going to be selling that soon. Which I got that at Value Village back in 2011, and it sat in my attic for a very long time until last year when I finally dug it out, and it still worked. But again, I wasn't satisfied because none of those computers resembled my aunt's, who, by the way, she still has that computer, by the way, and it still works. So I kept looking and looking, and finally, about a month ago, I was on eBay, and I finally found one. A Gateway 2000 in the exact same case style as hers. And we're looking at it right now. This is the Gateway 2000 P5-90. Manufactured August of 1994, so this is about a year older than hers. And you saw me unbox this a few weeks ago when I got it. And you also saw me change out the motherboard in it. More on that later. So let's get the camera off the tripod and take a closer look. Alright, here we are, back at the front of it. By the way, I'm recording this outside because the weather is absolutely beautiful today. It's actually the day before Easter when I'm recording this. And I figured to kind of give it a spring/Easter feel to this video, take this computer outside, put some Easter decorations around it, and make it look nice. Anyway, this is not the original CD-ROM drive in here. I just put a faster one in there. It's actually a DVD-ROM, but it works just fine. It's got a floppy drive there, some kind of a lock there. Thankfully, it's in the unlocked position because I don't have the key for it. Reset, power, and this cool little grill right here that I really like. And we'll come along the back. Got our power supply, some manufacturer info, and it was built August 4th of 1994. Now, when I got this computer, the motherboard had a dead Dallas clock chip in it, which is very difficult to replace. And what the Dallas clock chip does is it acts as the CMOS battery and keeps all the BIOS settings. Unfortunately, one of those settings that it keeps on there is the information from the hard drive. And without that information, the computer can't successfully boot. So I was kind of up creek without a paddle there, so I had to take the motherboard out of my Gateway 2000 P5-133XL and temporarily put it in this case right here so I'd be able to use this computer. And I mentioned before, I think in the previous video about this computer, that I do not know how to solder. Well, guess what? My parents do. And my dad is teaching me how to solder right now, and he's going to help me replace the Dallas clock chip on here. I got the solder in the mail, some desolder flux, and a soldering iron that's about 40 years old. But we're going to replace the Dallas clock chip on here sometime next week. Already got the parts in it. Not already in it, but we already got the parts in the mail, so we'll be doing that repair sometime next week. So hopefully we'll be able to use the original motherboard that came in the system, and I'll be able to sell off the P5-133XL and make back the money I spent on this computer right here. But anyway, got two serial ports right here, parallel, PS2 mouse and keyboard. We've got a Cirrus Logic video card right here. This did come with the original ATI Mach 64 2 megabyte video card, just like what my aunt's has, but unfortunately I'm not able to use it at the moment because for whatever reason that ATI card does not play nice with the P5-133XL motherboard that's in here, so I'm having to use this temporarily until I get the original motherboard back in here. Got a 3-COM PCI Ethernet card and a Sound Blaster 16 Vibra, which sounds absolutely beautiful. And notice these stickers are out of place. That's because these are intended for the original motherboard, but once I get the motherboard back in here, hopefully next week, those will match once again. So yeah, I am so excited to finally have the case style of the first computer I ever used, and it's in really good condition as well, except for this mark right here. I've got to take a magic eraser to. Not a bit of yellowing whatsoever, but then again, these Gateway 2000s don't really yellow too bad, thankfully. So, well, what are we going to do now? Well, we're going to haul this back into the house, plug it back up, and see what I've got software-wise. Okay, got it in its usual home right here in the bedroom. By the way, I switched to my cell phone camera because it does a little bit better in low light, which my bedroom is a very low light setting, unfortunately. But here's where it usually sits. Using a good old-fashioned Microsoft mouse with it. I believe my aunt's came with one quite similar to this. Using a Packard Bell keyboard with it because I have nothing else to use with it. I do have a IBM Model M that I do intend to use with this once I get it repaired. Here's the monitor that I'm using with it. This is the Hansol 730ED, which you saw me unbox this past week. I found this new in the box at Goodwill last week for $5, complete with everything, never been used. It was incredible, and it works perfectly, has a beautiful picture on it. I can't be any more impressed with it. And phone is out of focus, come on. Come on, man. Oh, there we go. And my most recent addition to this computer, these Altec Lansing Multimedia speakers that were very ubiquitous back on 90s computers. Got these at Goodwill for $5 in Winston-Salem the other day. I got these because my aunt's Gateway 2000 used speakers that look just like this, except I think hers had a subwoofer. These do not. But I just now tested them today, actually, and they have incredible sound to them. So yeah, really do like these speakers. Eventually, I want to move this monitor over here to where my laptop dock is, because eventually I want to put my laptop on a new smaller desk right there by the window, but that won't be anytime soon. But that will be nice once it's done, so it won't be as cramped over here. So let's go ahead and fire up the Gateway. And quick reminder, once again, this is using the P5-133XL's motherboard. And that sound means that I don't have the VGA cable plugged in. Let me go fix that. Let's try this again. Go. Turn the monitor on. This processor is way faster than what was intended for this computer, but again, this is a different motherboard. And I currently have a 15 gigabyte hard drive in it. Originally came with a 1 gig hard drive. I got it dual booted with Windows 3.11 and Windows 95. So we'll start with Windows 3.11. First operating system I ever saw. And of course it runs on top of MS-DOS. This is version 6.22 that's booting up. Alright, give the good old-fashioned WIN command. Takes a while to boot because it has a network card in it. Usually would be booted by now, I would think. Oh yeah, apparently my Ethernet cable isn't plugged in all the way, or else we wouldn't get this blue screen here. But we'll just ignore that. We don't need networking today anyway for this video. There's my custom gateway wallpaper. Yeah, cry me a river. Alright, and here we are at the Program Manager, and I'm going to set the tripod up to keep things a little bit more stable. So while I do that, enjoy these messages from our sponsors.
Copy. Image. Gateway 2000's Multimedia Upgrade Kit. The time is now. Bring excitement to your desktop. Go one step beyond with Gateway 2000.
Okay, welcome back. Got the tripod all set up. Here is the Windows 3.11 Program Manager running plug-in for Windows. I've mentioned this before, but it's a great little add-on for the Windows 3.1X Program Manager, mainly because it lets you have nested program groups, which makes organization quite a bit better. And I've got everything divided up into certain groups here, starting with productivity. We've got Microsoft Office Professional 4.3, Microsoft Works for Windows 3.0, Publisher 2.0, Microsoft Money, that I never use, Microsoft Multimedia, which has Encarta 95, Paint Shop Pro, I think version 3, and Adobe Acrobat 2.0, which gives me the Adobe Distiller. We'll save games for later. Microsoft Internet Tools, this is Internet Explorer 5, which I don't know why I'm opening up because we don't have the Ethernet cable connected, but that's what it looks like anyway. Microsoft Tools is a bunch of MS-DOS stuff like antivirus and backup. Alternate shells, which include Microsoft Bob, which we looked at the other day actually. And Arc Workspace, the non-Packard Bell OEM version. Accessories, typical Windows 3.1 stuff there. And main, again, typical Windows 3.1 stuff. Control panel. And here are the games, and there's quite a few. As is tradition in these Gateway 2000 videos, I feel like we need to play Mixed Up Mother Goose once again. Unfortunately, the CD for that is out in my office, so I'm going to have to go grab that. But first of all, we'll just take a look and see what we got on our games group. Got the Microsoft Entertainment Pack. Oh, that's weird. Look at that cursor. I tell you, it really wants to have that IP address. And no, I don't want any further messages about that. Oh. Windows, ladies and gentlemen, has died. And this is why moving to Windows 95 back in 1995 was such a good thing. Yeah. We may have to do a restart. Okay, got everything rebooted, and it took us back where we were, which was the Microsoft Entertainment Pack. And here's a game I remember seeing on my aunt's Gateway 2000, and then later on my Legend 822 CDT. Ski Free. We all know what's going to happen here, folks. Why are you even watching this? There's only one possible ending this game is going to have, you know. By the way, I have a 15 gig hard drive in here, but the P5-133 board can only see up to 8 gigabytes of that, so I'm having to use the Easy Drive utility, I believe from Western Digital, to see all 15 gigs of that. And I hope that still works when I put the original motherboard back in here, because it's a lot older. Okay, let's go ahead and get this over with. Once we get to 1985 meters, that's when the interesting event's going to happen. Which, why am I even saying that? You already know what's going to happen. We're just delaying the inevitable here. We're getting close. And there's our old friend, Mr. Ski Free Yeti, whom the Flying Scotsman and I have determined is UK Prime Minister Theresa May's husband. It's just a theory, but it's possible. So, let's go ahead and load up Mixed Up Mother Goose. And yes, I know, we've seen this many times on this channel. And I even did a full playthrough of this game for Nostalgic Christmas this past year, but this is a Gateway 2000 that looks just like my aunt's. We gotta do this. It's the law. Go to the Sierra group, and double click here. Oh, we're not gonna do the squiggly line thing? These speakers really are pretty good.
Use the mouse to click on the child of your choice.
I also like to consider this game to be known as Child Kidnap Simulator.
Please type your name here.
Shall we go with my actual name or someone else's? I'll go with mine, because I'm lazy. My mind is currently mush at the moment. And of course, the tradition that we all have when we go to bed, we gotta sit up in our bed and have our fists like this for some reason. It's a tradition.
It's time to go to sleep now.
No, it isn't. I don't think he's breathing. And here's why this is called Child Kidnap Simulator.
Hello, I'm Mother Goose. I'm so glad you came. My nursery rhymes are all mixed up. Can you help me fix them?
What do you want me to do, Mother Goose?
Each of my characters has lost an item he or she needs to complete their rhyme. Without
not
these
really my
items, they
problem.
don't know what to do. They need you
I shouldn't
to
be
help
cleaning up
find
after
them. Can you
your
do
laziness
Sure I
upon
can.
organizing
Good.
your
If you
place.
need any help, you can find me in my house. Good luck.
You're gonna need it. To you too. Okay, we've seen this so many times here. Not sure why the picture's jumping. We're not going to play through the whole game, obviously. Yeah, this is the first computer game I ever played. Actually, let's take this nice-looking woman over here. Ask her hand in marriage. Or, no, that's a little too forward.
Here's your wife, Mr. Pumpkin Eater.
Well now, convinced her to come on home, did you? Wonder how long she'll stay. Probably just long enough to change her clothes. Oh well, at least she's back. Let's see if I can keep her now.
Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and could not keep her. Put her in a pumpkin shell and there he kept her very well.
I want to thank you, youngin'.
That sounds like a hostage situation to me. Anyway, let's head on to something else. Okay, now to play another game that we used to always play on my aunt's Gateway 2000, as well as my Legend 822 CDT back in the day. Game you've seen many times on this channel before. Just Grandma and Me from Living Books. This particular copy right here I actually got brand new the day after we got the Legend 822 CDT. Now don't worry, we will be playing a game we haven't played on this channel before coming up in this video. But for right now, let's just relax with a little bit of Just Grandma and Me. I had the volume down for some reason.
Just Grandma and Me by Mercer Mayer. Hi, I'm Little Critter.
And welcome to Shut Up.
Okay. We went to the beach, just Grandma and me.
Oh yeah, good memories right here.
Are you excited?
Yeah, Grandma, I am.
You want to know something disturbing? Grandma's voiced by a man. I'm not joking either. She really was voiced by a man. Little Critter was voiced by the guy's son. Yeah.
Woo.
My favorite part of the whole game.
Woo. Woo.
That's way too amusing. Now to skip over to a certain page I want to show.
If you want to play inside a certain page, okay. I bought hot dogs for Grandma and me, but they fell in the sand. So I washed them off.
Sanitation. To be fair, though, he did get hot dogs with what I like to have on them. Nothing. Yes, I know, I'm weird. I like plain hot dogs. But I certainly don't like crunchy, sandy hot dogs. Spaz attack in 3, 2, 1.
Good, good, good. Food, food, food.
Alright, let's do a Alt F4. Get out of there. And take the CD out, and we're going to head back over to Windows 95. Where we're going to play a game that I don't believe we've played before on this channel. Nice thing about plug-in for Windows is it actually lets you do a complete reboot instead of having to Control-Alt-Delete from DOS. In the early part of 1996, my aunt did upgrade her Gateway 2000 to Windows 95, which it still runs to this day. Okay, we're not going to fool with the network. Familiar territory, Windows 95. Go to System Properties here. Got 32 megs of RAM in it currently. Cirrus Logic 5464 video card. Hopefully I'll be using the ATI card soon once I get the motherboard put in here. It shows up the monitor model. 3 COMI for Link 10100 PCI TX NIC for network. And Creative Lab Sound Blaster 16. Can't go wrong with one of those. Anyway, there's a start menu, by the way. Anyway, let's play that game I was talking about. And I actually do vaguely remember playing this on my aunt's Gateway 2000. I think she played it more by herself on it. A little game called King's Quest VII. Another Sierra classic. I believe this is the last one in the King's Quest series. There's the disc there. Go ahead and pop it in the drive. It's a point-and-click adventure game. Very, very difficult game from what I recall, so don't expect to get too far in this game in this video. I think it's an auto run. Yes, it is. And let's skip the intro because that'll take about 5 hours from what I recall. So we'll just go straight into the game. Name your game. Let's see, I guess we'll just give it my name. Chapter 1, I suppose. Where in the blazes am I?
My daughter! Rosella! Where are you?
Right the way, King.
Lost!
Oh, this game almost took a very adult turn.
Where is my Rosella? My child?
Have you thought about posting it on Craigslist? From what I recall, this is the last of the King's Quest series of games. And this is, well, guess what? If you're wondering why King's Quest VII suddenly went away, well, I'm actually making this part of the video quite a bit afterwards because my phone decided to do a little bit of video corruption during that. So about, I'd say, 15 minutes of video footage I recorded earlier is no good. So I'm having to completely redo everything. And do you think I'm happy? I'm not. Anyway, let's resume. What I did next in the video was we did a quick little MIDI test. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's try Brandenburg. Pretty nice. I think that came with the multimedia version of Windows 3.0 back in 1991, so that's a pretty old MIDI file. Okay, since it's Easter, let's play an Easter-esque game via DOS, actually. Let's go down here to my games folder and play a little bit of Jazz Jackrabbit, the first one. And yes, this computer has a very loud PC speaker. Normally I play this with a, what's it called, a joystick, but I don't have room for one right now for this setup. Once I move my laptop to another desk, I'll be able to do that, I believe. So, let's try a different episode than we're used to seeing on this channel. And yes, it is supposed to be Jill the Jungle in that picture. Another one of Epic Mega Games, which is a very good game, by the way. Yes, I'm cheating. Because it's my computer, I'll do what I want. See, I guess I need to be careful when I'm recording on my cell phone. What I really need, though, is a new camcorder in general. The one I've been using is well over 7 years old. It's only 720p. I can do better than that. But the reason I'm using my phone for this segment of the video is because it records better in low light, and my bedroom is really bad with lighting. And the camera on this phone is typically really, really good. Unless it decides to corrupt the video file. Can you tell I'm a little bit annoyed right now? Everything was going so well, too. And I need to go to bed early tonight to get to our church's sunrise service. I don't have time for this. You know, I really since after what happened, I really should be using my camcorder for this segment just for extra security, but I'm an idiot. There was a bonus level gem that I forgot to get. Yeah, I did forget it. And that's enough Jazz Jackrabbit for the night. Okay, because it's Easter, why don't we take a look at the Windows 95 Easter egg, and I'll show you how to do it. You create a new folder on the desktop, and you want to name it "And now, comma, the moment you've all been waiting for." And then you want to rename it to "We proudly present for your viewing pleasure and then we're going to rename it again to the Microsoft Windows 95 product team! Exclamation, and there we go. Wow, Bill Gates had a part in developing Windows 95? You learn something new every day. Man, I really love these speakers. And there you go. The Windows 95 Easter egg. So, I guess it's about time to close up this video. I am very grateful to finally have a computer I've been searching for 22 years, finally in my possession. I am very glad to have that. And once again, happy Easter to all of you. So, until next time, this is Billy Core reminding you that we got new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, sometimes in between, like today. And if you would like to support me on Patreon, please go ahead and do so if you'd like to. The link to that is in the description below. So until next time, this is Billy Core signing off.
The preceding video was made possible by Intel's video technology, Indio Video.